everybody, Steven here, and for today's video review, I'm going to cover my Mossom or Mossom wireless car charger that I got off of Amazon for my iPhone XS here. So this is actually it right there. Works really, really well. So I'm going to use one of my old phones to put in there so you guys can see. So obviously a wireless charger. Just go over some of the specs real quick on it. It is the 10 watt, which was one of the things that I was looking for with this. The output, wireless output on this, it says it's 15 watts or 10 watts. And wireless charging conversion rate is 80 to 85%. It has the infrared sensor on it, which is going to allow you to put the phone up there, and then it clamps down on it, so you're not having to opening up clamps or anything like that, which is really, really cool with that. Adjustable base, adjustable head, all of that. So I'm going to showcase this really quick right here. So me just putting in the phone, and then it just grabs onto it like that, which is really, really cool. Being able to swivel and adjust all of that, I get to do that with ease. You can crank it down, it comes up, tilts. Everything with it's been really, really good. I've noticed that charging time for about 30 minutes, or sorry, not 30 minutes, 20 minutes, which is what it takes me to get to work, I'm getting about 10% battery life out of that. So if I need something that does go a little bit quicker, my plug-in charger goes a little bit quicker. So I'll get a little bit more out of that, but it still works really, really well for what you're utilizing it for, especially if you're using GPS or anything like that. With the iPhone XS or any of the face recognition ones, like this doesn't work because it's so far away from me that, and I believe also because it's on its side, I'm not able to actually just click it open. So that can be a pain, because I'm gonna have to do manual input with that. It doesn't just open when you go ahead and try and unlock the phone, but you can obviously take that off. My major complaint with it is just how I have to position it in my car personally. And that really has to do more so with my car. I'm not going to put it up top where it's sitting here on the dashboard. Is actually really the only place that I can actually put that. And if we look around and I'm looking at the rest of my dashboard, there's really not a good place. I mean, I can't put it over here and run the cord across. I didn't want to do that. This is actually my airbag also, so that's just unsafe. So it ends up having to go here, here, or up here. And that was just the best spot for it. I have to run the cord over here. I run it around so that it is out of the way. One of the cool things with the charging port itself that they actually have, so it goes into the cigarette lighter charging port on this in my center console. On the back end of that, it actually has another USB attachment to it, so you're not losing that. You're actually gaining a slot out of that, which is really, really cool, and helps. So if I need to run another one, luckily I already have one built into the car, but if I needed another one for whatever reason, it is there. That was a nice touch. Build quality feels decent. It is plastic. So if I most likely hit this really, really hard, it's going to break. I'm probably not going to do that in the car, obviously, though. But accidents do tend to happen if I'm moving things around. That might be an issue. Suction cup on the bottom. And like I said, this thing can actually tilt and twist and all of that. If I can get this maneuvered around here well enough so that it'll allow me to do that. So if I loosen here, right, you can set that to whatever you need it to be as far as the height is concerned. That sensor's going like crazy. You can twist this, so you can do this vertical. I'm doing it sideways, but you could do this vertical. And that would obviously help with the face recognition, but usually when I'm using my phone, I like it in landscape mode. So you can tilt this as well if, like I said, you want it more in a portrait mode versus a landscape mode. Overall, I'm really, really happy with the product for sure. Definitely helps with the wireless charging aspect. I like it because it can be hands-free and I can just pop that phone in there. I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to do test footage so you guys can see both cameras, because with the XS, I know that it has stabilization tech in it, but looking at the front-facing camera on it versus the back 2-lens camera on that, so you can see what the difference is. And I'll cover some of the other things that I ran into as far as placement with that multiple times. But happy with the product. It's $40 on Amazon. I'll make sure that there's a link. I got it, I think, on sale for $25 with the coupon, so you might want to wait for a sale with that. And that's really why I went with the deal. The big thing for me was I wanted the 10-watt charging for sure with it. I wanted it to be as adjustable as I could get it, so this one does serve that purpose. And then I wanted something that would actually open up with the clamps where I didn't have to do that. There are a lot out there, they have the wireless charging, but you have to like drop it in, or you have to do it, or it's based off a magnet or something like that. I didn't want to deal with any of that, so that's why I chose this product over the rest of them. And then based off that, it was just the reviews and looking for some of the more nuanced details that it actually had with it in terms of build quality and how I could adjust it. So that is it. Hopefully this helps anybody else out. And like I said, the next 2 videos that are going to follow right after this are going to be essentially covering the front and rear facing camera, just a test so you can see. And yeah, it does shake a lot, but this is really for anybody that maybe shoots content in the car. And this is a Chevy Volt, so not the best suspension out there. That's going to have an impact as well, but so you guys can see. And it might be better if it was placed on the window, the front window here, windshield, versus where it is right now on my center console. So that can have an impact. So. All right, so this is the camera test, and I'm actually driving right now, so we're going to pick up on some of the shakiness that this has. But this is the iPhone XS, so we're shooting 4K 60 frames a second right now. Looking at this, obviously there's going to be a quality difference between the back-facing camera and the front-facing camera on this, which will show the front-facing camera also, just to look at the quality with it, their stabilization technology and all that other stuff, see if it has an effect with this. Obviously, this is all dependent upon the road that you're driving on. And as I mentioned, I have to put this where it's at, which is on the top of my dashboard here. I can't put it over more just because that's where my airbag sits on this car. It's an odd placement for it that they have. I can't put it on the windshield just because the cord in my car unfortunately won't reach to that, unless it's just dangling right in front of me right here, and I didn't want that. So placement wise, this was the best position for it, but like I said, you're going to get some of that shakiness if you're recording, right? Especially on the road that I'm on right now, but that's if you're recording. Most people are either just going with it and they're understanding that there's going to be some shakiness with that, or they're stopping, they're parking, and they're actually going to record at that point too. You might also have a situation in your car, because my outlet for the plug is actually in my glove, my center console right here. The stretch versus if it was placed here and I could just run it straight to the top is a little bit different, so that's going to have an effect on it as well. And I could probably get another cord that would extend just as far and plug into the USB port, so that's something that you should keep in mind as well. I just haven't done that. So this has been the back-facing camera. We'll go over to the front-facing camera. All right, so this is the front-facing camera, so difference in quality with this just a little bit. Same thing you're going to notice is just the shakiness of the camera based off it being where it's at on my dashboard here. But if I'm sitting, which most of the time you're going to be in your car sitting, and some people are actually mounting this obviously on their glass, which I don't have the option to do, which would probably make it a little bit more stable. That's going to have an effect on it, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty decent. Like I said, it's just dependent upon the road that I'm going to be on. And placement for me right now too is really easy for me to see. It's easy for me to look at really quick, so I don't actually mind it there. Just like I said, if you're going to be recording video, that's going to have an effect on it. All right, so that is it, guys. That's the review. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.